We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello students, today we are going to learn about mixing. Now before we start further, you need to know that mixing is your 3rd chapter, 2nd unit, right? And this is my first video presentation. So remember this one so that you can follow the next video slides. So what are we going to cover today? Topics that will be covered are objectives, application of mixing, then difference between solid and liquid mixing, mechanism of solid mixing, right? This will be the 3 major topics that will be covered in this video slides. Now, first of all, as you know, I always tell that before we start any further, you need to know what actual mixing is. So, this is the definition: a process resulting in randomization of dissimilar particles. You have to remember this definition. This is very easy and simple. What do you mean by dissimilar particles? Particles that are not similar, and you try to randomize it, right? A process resulting in randomization of dissimilar particles. It is also called blending. Examples of mixing: trituration, tumbling, geometric dilution, etc. Trituration you are well aware, tumbling also, and geometric dilution you learnt in your first semester, right? Can also be achieved by milling. Now how do you actually achieve mixing? There are a lot of ways of achieving mixing, but milling, kneading, etc. are also some of the ways through which you can achieve mixing. This word here, right, randomization, is the most important key word to the definition, so you don't forget this while writing in your exam. Now, before going further, what actual solid mixing is, you need to understand what is cohesive and non-cohesive. You must have studied it somewhere else, but let us see what does this mean. Cohesive forces are type of attractive forces that exist between molecules of same substance. For example, rain falls in droplets rather than fine mist. You understand this example? What is this example telling you? Rain falls in droplets rather than fine mist, right? Because water has strong cohesion which pulls its molecule tightly together for forming droplets, right? Now, because water is having a good binding capacity, water molecules have good strong cohesion force, right? That is why they will keep each other's molecules tightly together, therefore it forms a droplet. This force tends to unite molecules of a liquid, gathering them into relatively large clusters due to molecules dislike for its surrounding. Example, wet clay, right? Once you understand what cohesive force is, you will automatically get to know what non-cohesive force means, right? So I repeat once again, cohesive force are type of attractive forces that exist between molecules of the same substance, right? And this, for non-cohesive, dry sand, grains, etc. Now you can picturize in your mind how cohesive forces and non-cohesive forces work, right? But here you see, molecules of same substance is the key word, right? So cohesive forces are a type of attractive force that exist between the molecules of same substance, right? Now, objectives and application. First is to decrease in batch cycle times and also cost. How many batches if you are going to perform, then it decreases the batch cycle times, and also it is beneficial cost wise. Then to increase dissolution and diffusion rate, right? Mixing is the intermediate step in production of tablet and capsule. mixing of powder in different proportion prior to granulation or tableting. Fourth is dry mixing. Then fifth is blending of powder. Sixth is in case of potent drug where the dose is low, mixing is critical factor. Now you need to understand what it says objective in application, why it answers to your question, why do we do mixing, so that it decreases the batch cycle and cost effective, dissolution and diffusion rate are increased. Then it is also an intermediate step in the production of tablet and capsule, mixing of powder in different proportion prior to granulation. You will learn this when you go through the tablet and capsule, right? Dry mixing, it is very efficient. It can be applied in dry mixing. Blending of powders, easily powder blend can be mixed. In case of potent drugs, I have taught you already what potent drug is. Mixing is a critical factor there. Now, difference between solid and liquid mixing. This is also available in your book. You can refer there. Liquid mixing and solid mixing difference. In liquid mixing, flow currents are responsible because the liquid is moving, so it will easily generate flow current, right? So flow current are responsible for transporting unmixed material. In solid mixing, there are no flow current, right? There it is not at all possible. That's why there will be absent. In liquid mixing, homogeneous liquid phase, you can see homogeneous, right? While in solid mixing, you can easily identify that there are more than 2 or more than 3 phases available, right? In liquid mixing, small sample size is required to study the degree of mixing, while in solid mixing, large sample size is required. In liquid, it is always like that way. You have to take a small sample size, which will be enough, more than enough to study the degree of mixing, whereas in solid you require always large sample size. In liquid mixing, mixing requires very low power, while in solid mixing, what it requires a high power, right? Mechanism of solid mixing. Now let's see. Mechanism of solid mixing have total 3 steps. Connective mixing. What do you mean by connective mixing? Achieved by inversion of powder bed using blades, paddles or screws, and it is also known as what? Macro mixing. Now see, achieved by inversion of powder bed using blades and uh, paddles or screw. You can easily mix those. Now this is also known as macro mixing. The reason behind it is nothing but a large mass of material moves from one part to the another, right? Because you are using blades, paddles or screw. That is why it is known as what? Connective mixing or macro mixing. Next, shear mixing. Shear mixing, the word itself shear tells you the answer. What is this? Force of attraction. In this step, force of attraction are broken down so that each particle moves on its own between region of different composition and parallel to their surfaces. Right. Now see, in this shear mixing, force of attraction is responsible. Shear itself indicates force so that you don't forget the word meaning. Right. Using the force, mixing occurs. And last, diffusive mixing. It involves random motion of particles. Random motion of powder bed, thereby particles change their position, also known as micro mixing. In diffusive mixing, the own particles will move randomly, and by that it will get mixed. Right. Now, the motion of particle to achieve random distribution assumes that no factor influences, that is other factors are not responsible in this type of distribution, but the motion of the particles to achieve random, the motion itself, the particle motion itself is responsible, and this is very rare case, right? Now this is not the end of mechanism, it is continuing part. So here it is, mixing process steps. This is the most important thing, but make sure, keep in mind, this is only for solid mixing operation. There are total 4 steps involved. First is expansion of bed solid, right? These are very easy to understand, so you will not find any difficulty here. Second, application of 3D shear forces to powder bed. Third is mix along long enough to permit the randomization of particles. And fourth and last is maintain randomization, no segregation after mixing. Now let me explain. Expansion of bed of solid. What do you mean by expansion of bed of solid? Is nothing but you, if you are given any powder material, then you will first expand that, right, in as a bed, you will spread that. Then second, application of 3D shear force. Now when you are given a powder bed, you will expand and then you will apply force. Why you need to apply force? So that particles start to move, particles start to attract each other, right? Mix long enough to permit the randomization of the particle, and this way what will happen, mixing will start, and you have to mix long enough so that you see that randomization is achieved. Then fourth, maintain randomization. Achieving is a different thing and maintaining is a different thing. Maintain randomization so that no segregation after mixing occurs. Now you can see here, this is a equation, right? Now what you will be wondering what this equation is. Now see, mixing is expected to produce random distribution of particle. It depends on the probability that an event happens in a given time. The law of mixing appears to follow the first order, which means it depends only on reaction concentrate, right? Now see, m is degree of mixing after time, right? Then t is time in minutes, a and k are constant. Now see, these constant a and k depend on mixture geometry, number 1. Number 2, physical characteristic of the powder, number 2. Then number 3 is proportion of material being mixed. The three are the most important on which they depend. Now see, practically you have to explain this thing, how that mixing initially, what do you mean by when you are starting mixing, the mixing will be very rapid, but as you go on mixing, at later stage the rate decreases. Since the rate of the process is first order, perfect mixing is not attainable, that is, it takes infinite time. As I said, it depends only on reaction concentration, right? So perfect mixing will not be achieved, it takes a numerous time. The best mixing time, don't forget this, what I'm saying, the best mixing time is 30 to 35 minutes. Within 30 to 35 minutes you will get your mixing perfect, right? Once the desired mixture has been achieved, the process should be stopped. But once mixing is stopped, the blend should exist in static equilibrium. If it is not in stable form, once you have completed your mixing, you have stopped the instrument, right? Then if your material is not being stable, then what's the use of mixing, right? Subsequent handling of mixture should be so as not to disturb the static equilibrium. So ultimately your goal is to number 4, that is maintain randomization, right? So this was all for today. Thank you, and we'll continue in my next video. Stay tuned for 3.2.2. Don't forget these digits. These digits will help you to stay continue to my lectures, and you need to subscribe my channel so that you get notifications as soon as I upload the next chapter. Okay, next presentation.